Shubhodaya. Good morning all. So, we started with Bhagavatam last week. So Bhagavatam, as I mentioned, that it has 18,000 shlokas. 18 has a special number in numerology and Sankhya Shastra. 18 that Mahabharata. Mahabharata means 18. Original name of Mahabharata was Jaya. Jaya, it's the numerology they count like Ka Ka Ga Ga Nga Cha Cha Ja. Ja is 8. Ja Ya. Ya Ra La Va. Ya is 1. And number is told reverse. That is instead of it becomes 18. 18 means victory. It's the 18th Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters. And the Bhagavad Gita, war was fought for 18 days. War was fought with 18 Akshohinis. 18 Akshohinis is close to 5 million people. And 11 million, it's 11 Akshohinis on Kaurava side, 7 Akshohinis on Pandava side. This 18 has a special number. And 18 also represents the Lord. The God represents 18. 17 represents Prakriti or Lakshmi. She binds the soul into the soul. Always is looking at the 15 aspects. That what are the 15 aspects we will cover next week. The soul is Jiva, is turned its attention onto the 15 aspects. That's why it is bound. The moment the soul turns its attention to the Lord, the 18, that cord, whatever is bound, it gets released. And 18,000 shlokas in Bhagavata Mahapurana. Bhagavata is the last of the Puranas composed by Sri Vedavyasa. Its last indicates it is the summary, it is the essence of all the knowledge. Summary of Vedas, Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, everything. Summary is in Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam has 12 chapters and skandhas. It is called as skandhas. Skandhas means branches. And of that 10th skandha is the cream of all the skandhas. Is in 10th chapter. It talks about the appearance of the Lord and birth and his childhood play and how he destroyed many demons. That it talks about that one in the 10th chapter. Exclusively is Lord Krishna's story. And 11th also Lord Krishna's story is there. But main cream of that one is in the 10th chapter. And in the 5th skandha that we started on last week, it talks about various lokas. That in the body also there are spiritual centers. That 7 divine lokas and seven so-called divine lokas. It appears like divine, but it's like gold, not artificial gold. Diamond, American diamond. There's a difference. That 7 divine lokas are Buhu, Buaha, Suaha, Mahaha, Janaha, Tapaha, Satya. Divine loka. Up to Satya loka, soul, whatever goes, it has to come back. Once it goes to Satya Loka, there is no return. And it's a so-called divine lokas, Atala, Vitala, Tala Tala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Tala Tala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala. It's all the 7 so-called divine lokas. It's a divine lokas where ghosts are there, inhabited by ghosts, and demons are there. And in the Sutala Loka, it's a demon Bali. Bali was pushed into Sutala Loka. He is ruling there. And Vamana, Lord in the form of Vamana, is the gatekeeper guarding that one. And in the next Kalpa, that Bali will become a Indra. He will ascend to Indra position. And further down, all the snakes, Sarpalokas are there, are described in that one. And it also mentions about 25 infernal lokas. that in the samsara, in the worldly life, that we do good things and bad things. If the good things is done, that soul, once the body is called as gross body, this is called as Sthula Sharira. From the body, soul departs. The soul is called as Sukshma Sharira. Sukshma means it is not coming to, we can't see that one. This is a gross, we can't see the subtle things. Even the Sukshma Sharira has eyes, has ears, has tongue, hands, legs, but in a minute form. It can see us, it can enjoy, it can see, it can hear, it can talk, but we can't. Our instruments are too gross to hear that one. Sukshma Sharira. That if you have done good things, it will go to what is called as Swarga Loka and enjoy the merit, or if it has done the bad things, it is going to suffer in the Naraka or hell. And it has to, after exhausting its allocated quota, it is born here to continue the journey. Continue the journey. For example, that I am here, I want to pursue my sports as a career. And that is the career I have set upon. But while treading the path, I have done many good things and bad things. According to that one, once I depart, I get the merit, and once I come back, if my interest is very severe towards my sportsmanship, I will be born again to continue that one. If I learn from my past experience and try to correct myself, that I will be alright. If I do the same mistake, again soul will go, and it's a process of coming and going. And purpose of scriptures, talking about infernal loka, it is not to scare people, but to get vairagya, to get dispassion. It's enough, is this one enough? I want to go beyond this one. Enough of suffering, enough of going and coming. I am tired of this journey. Let me elevate myself to get that feeling, that it talks about infernal lokas, that it talks about 28, and out of that one, that we covered 2 is Tamasira and Andan Tamasira. Today we will cover another loka, is a Raurava loka, how it looks like. And it's a Raurava loka that in the 6th skanda, Parikshit asks Shuka Muni that you mentioned about these ones. It's different regions of hell or different regions of heaven, how to get over this one. That Shuka Muni says, it's the only way to get over is to atone oneself. Atone in the sense Prayaschitta. Prayaschitta is done through practicing of Yama Niyama. You can do that one, or visiting the pilgrimages, or doing observing fasting, or meeting the spiritual teacher, meeting the gurus. But he mentions all this. But Shukacharya says these are all minimal. It's insignificant. The primary thing you need to have devotion to the Lord. If you have the devotion and surrender to Him, that whatever you have done, it will be wiped out. That it's a devotion that it talks about 3 types of devotion. One is my devotion is confined to my temple, my only statue. I see God only in that one. That is the primary class, kinder level devotion. I go to temple, that is the only one. And second level, high school level of devotion, and that Lord, whoever is there in that statue, it is not only the statue, the Lord in that one is enveloping all the regions. He is not only there, He is everywhere. That is the high school level. And the college level is not only there, not only enveloping everywhere, He is within myself. That is the third level. That whoever understands this one, whoever understands the Vasudeva within, he is atoned. That there is whatever is committed, it's the highest of the Prayaschitta, Sri Shukacharya says. Today we will talk about the Sutala Loka, not Sutala, that Raurava Naraka. We will talk about what Raurava Naraka is. Arvind, you want to come here? talk about this one. This para.
Again, he indeed who fondly nourishes from day to day his own family exclusively through hostility to other living beings in this world, regarding the body alone as his self and the objects of the world, such as his wife, his children, his house, and other belongings of his own, leaves them, the body and everything else here, and himself alone, accompanied by none, falls into the hell called as Ravarava.
Raurava.
Ravarava.
Raurava.
Raurava, because of the sin resulting from such hostility. Further, the very creatures that were killed by him here are born as Rurus in the other world and kill the same fellow when he goes through the tortures inflicted by Yama in the same way as they were killed by him. Hence, they speak of that region as Ravarava, the abode full of Rurus. Ruru being the name of the creature more ferocious than a snake. Quite similar, Maharavarava, a class of Rurus called as Kravyadas, flesh eaters, so called because of their being carnivorous by nature, kill for the sake of the flesh. The man who solely nourishes his own body and consequently falls into that region.
Thank you. Thank you. Lie down on your back.